to become world class at one thing, you have to relegate lots of other things to mediocrity, if not even to being really, really bad at. And so I'm going to suggest that you make a give up list. Because see, that's a lot of people's problem, is we're trying to be good at a lot of things. We end up mediocre at everything and never really great at anything. And so to become world class, to become great at one thing, you've got to reallocate time. So this is my give up list. Now I'm just sharing you mine. You don't have to take mine. I'm just giving you an example so that you can create a framework for your own. So I gave up television. I don't watch TV. I have no idea what television programs are popular. I've never seen a Housewives of this or a Voice of that or an American of this or nothing. I have no idea what goes on in television. The average American, 8 hours plus a day? Imagine what you could do with 8 hours of refocused time, right? I mean, even if it's 2 to 4 hours, enormous amount of time. I give up news. I don't watch any news. I don't listen to any news. I don't read any news whatsoever. I know some of you will disagree with that, but I have this sort of divide and conquer sort of mentality, which is like, okay, you've got cancer, you've got the whales, you've got Afghanistan, you've got global warming. I've got success. Like, you can sleep at night knowing that I'm going to go and champion success, and I'll sleep at night knowing that you've got military ships handling our business over yonder. And I don't have to pay attention to that, and you don't have to pay attention to this, right? So if it doesn't affect my goals, my family, and the dreams and ambitions that I'm after, what I'm trying to be world class in, I'm just going to assume you all got that and I got this, right? So I don't listen, watch, or read any news. And I know some people that spend hours all day, every day, trying to just absorb the world's worst. Because that's all news is. The worst things that are happening in the world paraded morning, noon, and night. And you're just soaking all that in, and then you're trying to go out there and be inspired and be productive. Not helpful. Now, again, I don't expect you to adopt my list, but I'll watch it. It's interesting, but I don't follow any sports. I always figure, like, if people just took the amount of time that they spend following other people's career and reinvested in their own career, their statistics would go up dramatically, right? So I don't follow any sports. Music. My iTunes library is empty except for all the success CDs that get imported in every time I put it in my computer. Again, I'm not saying you need to take on this list. This is just all the time I would have been trying to get the cover albums to match my iTunes library, I put into my one thing. Bodybuilding. I used to live here in South Beach once before. I live here half-time now. And when I did, I sold a company and I was just going to retire for a while. That was a great mistake. And all I did was work out for 2 or 3 hours a day. And I was like 220, with 20 pounds heavier than I am right now, all muscle. And I said, forget it, it's too much time. I'm just going to stay healthy. And I took the 2 extra hours that I was spending doing that, reallocated it towards my one thing. I live on 2 coasts, San Diego and here in South Beach, and I don't surf. Now, I envy people who surf and they find their like spiritual bliss out there. I just took that time and reallocated it to my one thing. Mechanics. Now, this one I'm a little embarrassed by, but besides a pen and a fork in my hand, and I'm totally retarded. Like this one time in San Diego, I used the bathroom down the hall from my office instead of our master bathroom, and my wife was catching me walking down the hall going to the powder room. She's like, why don't you use your own bathroom? I'm like, the toilet broke. She said, well, you've been doing this for like a month now. I'm like, yeah, it broke a long time ago. She says, well, why don't you fix it? I'm like, I don't know how to fix it. She said, well, come in here. She goes into my bathroom and she takes off the top of the tank. I'm like, oh, that's how you get that thing off, right? And so she takes the chain, puts it back on the lever, and flushes the toilet. She says, it's fixed. Now, again, I'm not proud about how retarded I am as a mechanic, but I took all the time and energy that I would have spent doing that. On Saturday, a wife usually has the honey-do list. I go and say, honey, who can I hire to do what you need to get done, right? So that's my life, and much, much more. And so all these things where I'm retarded or mediocre in my life, all those things, the time and energy and life force and capacity I would have spent there, I reallocated it to my one thing. And my one thing is what we're doing here right now. Okay, so you'll have to come up with your own give-up list of sorts, where you just relegate it. Like, take the pride and the ego you've got about having to be, proficient at something and just give it up, and then take the time and energy and put it towards your one thing. So I ask you, what are you going to give up so that you can get what you really want? Because most of the things that you're spending a lot of time and energy putting effort towards, you don't really care actually to be great at, but yet it's still taking life force from you.